YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the High Grade Universal Century, or HGUC, Palace Athene from Zeta Gundam series. This was also one of the 3 mobile suits that was developed by Sirocco himself. And yeah, it had some screen time, but it's also one of the most obscure mobile suits slash HG kits, so that's why I decided to pick it up and see what it has to offer. So first of all, I'm going to say this right away. This kit has some balance issues. Now currently I was able to, balance it somehow, but it's not really in a stable state. And once you hear that, term, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be thinking of, oh, then an action base is required. So kind of yes, but at the same time, as far to my knowledge, the Palace Athene and a few more certain high-grade Universal Century kits require a certain action base, which is not really purchasable, but you need to obtain it in some other way. So that's that. So what you get, of course, so let's talk about the components. First of all, what you get, of course, is the Palace Athene itself. You get a big shield and 8 large missiles, or 8 big missiles, and then you get 2 beam saber effects. As you can see, here is one with another beam saber hilt. You get 2 beam saber hilts as well, but however, you will only be able to use one of them because you get 2 fists and 1 multi-purpose hand for the right hand. So yeah, there's only one hand that's actually capable of holding that. And beyond that is some leftovers polycaps. That's that, and you get a twin beam cannon or slash beam cannon with a grenade launcher on top, as you can see. And then lastly, you get a large sticker sheet. However, as you can see, I did not use all of that because I didn't feel like using them. The black ones I colored in a Gundam panel lining marker. The only ones I actually used were the pink ones that goes on the shoulders, and then there's actually one more sticker I forgot to use on the forehead. Sorry about that, but just letting you guys know. And the yellow ones, there's 2 types of yellows. There's your cheese yellow and lemonish yellow. That's how I usually call it, but yeah. I didn't have issues with the color itself, but I did not like the way how the stickers attached to the kit, so that's why I just used a golden Gundam marker to replace all of the yellow. And I think it turned out pretty well than I expected. Okay, so let's get on to the review. Now, first of all, I will mention what part is supposed to be a sticker and mention what I did. Okay, now let's get on with the head. Okay, first of all, once you will notice that this is one of the kits that use those rubber cables like the HGUC, and yeah, it does. Some of them are essential for the kit. Some of them are not really that necessary. But okay, now let's look at the head. The head, very interesting head. What I did not like about the head is that it requires you to put a black sticker inside and then put another pink mono eye sticker on the middle. I did not like that, so I just colored the inside of the head black using a black on the marker and then attached the sticker, and it turned out very well. However, this also means that you are not allowed or able to move the mono eye. This is pretty much stuck in one place. So that's that, and this is where I believe that one camera sticker that I forgot to put is supposed to go. And I don't know why, but the head antenna tends to move a little bit. So that's that. It's not really loose, but it does tend to move. And for the movement, you have some decent movement. Of course, the rubber pipe slash cables might get in the way. So let me see if I can do this correctly. So you can go down that much. You can go down pretty decent, and then go up. Or I believe you can do the chicken neck thing, but because of the structure of the head, it's not really too easy. It technically can go back and forth, but because of the cables, it's not that easy, or it doesn't really have that feeling. As much as I would like to show you guys a 360, the cables are hindering that process. But this also makes sense because if you look at the back of the forehead, you can see there's a black section here. So my guess is that the mono eye is able to turn to the back side. So that's that. Also, that black section was supposed to be a sticker. I also colored it again. So that's that. The main body, once again, you have another cable going through there. And this will also kind of hinder the movement. Okay, the main body, these cables are pretty much just in there. And, oh, sorry about that. The side skirts tend to pop out a little bit too easily time to time. Or it could be just me that I kind of did not connect it properly. Because I I was working on something on the legs, and I forgot to put. I didn't really connect the side skirts too well. But yeah, the main body can. Well, if it weren't for those cables, I say it could have gone 360. But yeah, as you move, you can see the cables going in and out, which is a pretty good effect. There's no ab crunch because this is kind of an old kit, but not too old. So that's that. Let's see. The main arms. The shoulder do have the forward and backward movement. They're not on ball joints, but just pegs. The way how the arm is connected. So that's that. The pink sticker here is the only sticker I use, and I also had to do some panel lining here on the lines here and there. Actually, that pink section here there is also a weapon. I believe that's like a scatter beam weapon, if I remember correctly, because I've actually played a few Gundam games, and actually some games mentions this weapon. Okay, now for the arm, I think I'll take off the shield if possible. Come on. Oh, there we go. The arm only has a 90-degree bend. Well, it's kind of stable for its time, I believe. And the shoulders are, connected separately, so you can move around like that. And you have these two cables going on to the arm, and the hand are on your typical ball jointed hands. And let's see, you have this red section here, which I believe is also a weapon. It's not a thruster. I forgot which weapon that is. And then each arm has these squarish holes, which is for the shield connector. And this is where I should explain the shield. Oh boy, it's going wobbly. The shield, nothing too special. It's your typical shield. The way how you connect it is this sliding mechanism. Come on. There we go. You can slide it off and then slide it in to connect it. Of course, it's kind of tricky to know at first because the main sliding part, it's kind of difficult to tell which is up and down. And you can see you can store the beam saber here by just sliding in like that. So, okay. And as much as for the arm, 360, turning it 360 is not possible because of the gigantic shoulder armor and to these gigantic backpacks stuff going on. Okay, I think I'll explain the backpack as well. There's a lot. This is a very large backpack, and you have 8 gigantic missiles here. Yeah, these are actually missiles. Some people confuse these with like funnels, but that's not the case. Now the missiles can be detached individually. They're connected to this big gigantic peg, which is not too easy to attach the first time as well. The wings or the parts that connects the missiles can move a little bit. They are on a polycap joint, but they can only move forward and backward, or you can twist it a little bit if you want to do so. The connector here does not move at all, just letting you guys know. And you got some good red thrusters going on to the back. And I think it's because of these wings that's causing the balance issues. It makes the back a bit too heavy, so it's kind of difficult to balance or make it stand unless you're on the right position. Okay. Lastly, let's look at the waist/legs. The waist is technically like connected to the main body, so there's not much movement going on. There's not much to show. And I did say side skirts, but they're connected to the main side of the leg. And this thing does not have any side swivel, so just letting you guys know. And the most obvious part is the gold here. These were supposed to be those lemonish yellow lemonish yellow stickers I was supposed to use. I just used a Gundam Gold marker, and after that I used a top coating primer to not to damage the gold color because the legs were the part that I was touching the most, and the more I touched it, the gold paint was going to go down. So that's why I colored in. And here's an example of me that not top coating the gold paint. It's supposed to be like this metallic gold color here. This was supposed to be a sticker, but I also just colored it because I didn't like the stickers. So that's that. And here's another part that did not get affected by the spray. So that's that. That's supposed to be the same yellow as the feet, as far as I know. I was tempted to color every single yellow piece here in gold as well, but I thought that would take too much time, and I thought it was not too necessary. So if I do that, because I will have to color here, I have to color the main body, the neck, and then there's a shoulder area, so that's gonna take me a little bit too while, and I'm not sure if I had enough gold Gundam marker. Okay, for the legs, once I mentioned there's no side swivel, so um, there's not much I can do. Also, I forgot to mention the arms. It does have your typical 360 twist, but it's not on the main arm. It's on the bottom section of the arm, and then the arm can go 90 degrees to the side with no problem at all, despite having those cables or whatever. Yeah, I tend to forget some important stuff like that. The legs, despite the side skirt armor, you can still go more than 90 degrees if you wish to do so, a little bit higher if you want. And then the legs, okay, let me see. The side skirt is kind of hindering, but you do get a decent bend, about a 90 degrees or a little bit more than 90 degrees. Actually, yeah, that's as far as you go. I really do like the design of the legs somehow. Also, the feet. Actually, if you read the Byron custom information on Gundam Wiki, it does mention that the Byron custom feet were actually derived from the Pallas Athene's feet, because these also work as grappling feet like that. I believe I'm not sure if it was in the movie or the normal series, but there was a scene that they actually used this technique on the Gundam Mark II. Just letting you guys know. Yeah, so that's what this moving tip on the feet are for. Okay, now that we saw the basics, the feet are on your typical ball joint if you're wondering, but they're not like straight. They're kind of like an angle like that. So just letting you guys know. Okay, now we've seen the basics of the kit. Now let's look at its equipment. And I'm struggling to balance this kit out. Come on. Okay, there we go. The shield has pretty much, as I showed you, you can just plug it in. You can also connect the shield on the back side if you wish to do so. So it depends on which position you're going to put the arm in. So if you're going to put the arm like this, you can just attach it like this. But if you're going to go for the arm like this position with the hands facing like forward like this, you're going to have to attach the shield to the back side so you can, connect it so the shield can be on the side. So it's really up to your preference. In the instruction manual, they tell you to do it like this first. So just mentioning that. And I think I'll show the beam saber. The beam saber, I don't know. It looks too short for this kit or this mobile suit. I think they should have gave out the master grade ones, the yellow ones, because it doesn't have any issues holding it. It won't like fall off or anything, but it looks kind of awkward for it looks like it's like a adult holding a short stick. Yeah, that was a bad that was a bad reference, or not reference, but not the best explanation. But yeah, so that's sad. And then finally for the weapon, now the weapon can be only attached to one hole, only one position. You can attach it in either arm. And I don't know, the connection doesn't really feel too stable. Also, these parts are supposed to be stickers. I code them in gold. And there we go. You can hold it. But however, because of those gigantic shoulders and these on the backpack, it's not really easy to position the cannons while, unless you can take off these parts. I don't think it won't be a much of a problem, but yeah, it's kind of tricky to pose this thing. But it just basically pegs into the arm, and it doesn't really fall off that easily. So that's that. I do like the concept of the weapon, but I think it's just the proportions of the kit that kind of limits the potential of the kit. But it's a really tall mobile suit because I like it because it's really tall. It's because some high grades, I'm not really a fan of like small ones. If you want to know how tall this thing is, here's an example. Here's the Pallas Athene. Here's the Zeo. As far as I know, the Zeo is supposed to be bigger, but they're almost the same height, almost. Well, of course, if you count the backpacks, the Pallas Athene wins in height. And lastly, here is the typical HGUC Gym Type C. You can see how the size difference is. So that's that for the review of the Pallas Athene. Once again, I'm not going to recommend this as for everybody because it has a really interesting structure and build, and because of that, it kind of limits some articulation that you would normally see in a normal kit. So I will only recommend this for those who are really big fans of Titans and who actually knows the mobile suit very well. So that's that. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the HGUC Pallas Athene. If you have any questions or requests, leave a comment below. And I know some people are going to mention that I'm pronouncing the name wrong, and I don't mind that because I know I've been pronouncing the name very wrong because I'm confused as well. It's been a while since I actually heard the exact pronunciation. So yeah. Also, another reminder is that today in South Korea, Seoul, 8:30 p.m., I will be doing a live stream with the HGUC Gundam Alex, and I will be talking about various topics. So, if you're interested, please join in my live stream. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until then, see you guys next time.